So, okay. First is process. Will Republicans be able to confirm a justice to replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg before the election on November 3rd, before the January 20th inauguration? Time-wise, 45 days, which is what we have roughly remaining between now and the November 3rd election, that's very fast. Typically, it takes about 70 days from nomination to confirmation for a Supreme Court justice. So it would be very tough to do it in the 45 days before the election, but it could happen. Donald Trump reportedly going to nominate a replacement for Ruth Bader Ginsburg this week. The bigger question to me is the lame duck period. I don't know that they need to necessarily do it before the election, because I believe that even if Joe Biden were to win, they will have the time and potentially the ability, potentially the power, potentially the support to install a replacement for Ruth Bader Ginsburg during the interim period, the lame duck period between November 3rd, 4th and January 20th. Now, do they have the votes? You need 51 votes to confirm a Supreme Court justice, or you need 50 votes plus the tie-breaking vote from the vice president, which they would have in Mike Pence for sure. Republicans have a political situation to contend with because Republicans are defending 25 of the 38 Senate seats that are on the ballot. Many of their more vulnerable members have been eager to get back home, get out of D.C., expected to be around mid-October, I forget the exact date, and campaign. And that would shorten the pre-election period. It's not really 45 days. It's more like 30 or 35 days, because 30 really, maybe even 25, because they are planning to end this session in mid-October. Now, some of those senators might realize not only that they need to get back and campaign because their seats are at risk, but that pushing forward on this before the election could actually be bad for their reelection. The balance right now in the Senate is 53 Republicans and 47 Democrats. That's 45 Democrats plus 2 independents, Angus King and Bernie Sanders, who caucus with Democrats. So what they need, those of us, what we need, who oppose Donald Trump getting to replace RBG, is we need 4 Republican senators to say no. Now, very early, there was the suspicion, or there were rumors that Mitt Romney wasn't going to do this before the inauguration. That was almost immediately refuted by campaign staff. Now, maybe Romney wouldn't do it. We don't know yet. The early claims that were made were merely rumors. We then heard from Alaska Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski, who put out a very carefully worded statement saying that, quote, "I did not support taking up a nomination 8 months before the 2016 election to fill the vacancy created by the passing of Justice Scalia. We are now even closer to the 2020 election, less than 2 months out, and I believe the same standard must apply." So certainly Lisa Murkowski is a no before the election, but there is nothing here, and this is why you have to look at the wording. There's nothing here that says if Trump loses, she may still go forward with a vote to confirm during what would be a lame duck period for Donald Trump. That's really the question mark. Otherwise, we really aren't sure. We can speculate. Susan Collins, okay, maybe she wouldn't go for it before the election, but what about during the lame duck period? Potential lame duck period. Cory Gardner in Colorado, he might realize this could be very bad for his reelection, but maybe during the lame duck period. We don't know. Maybe Martha McSally, who's down to Mark Kelly in Arizona. We just don't know. Now, we have to look at the hypocrisy. And the reason I'm kind of hesitating is they don't care. They don't care. But yes, they are hypocrites. Look at some of these quotes from 2016 and 2018. Senator Ted Cruz in 2016. "It has been 80 years since a Supreme Court vacancy was nominated and confirmed in an election year. There is a long tradition that you don't do this in an election year." Hypocrite. Lindsey Graham in 2018. "If an opening comes in the last year of President Trump's term and the primary process has started, we'll wait to the next election." Marco Rubio, "I don't think we should be moving on a nominee in the last year of this president's term. I would say that if it was a Republican president." Well, we're waiting, Marco. Tom Tillis from North Carolina, Republican. The campaign is already underway. It is essential to the institution of the Senate and to the very health of our republic to not launch our nation into a partisan, divisive confirmation battle during the very same time the American people are casting their ballots to elect our next president. Now, I could go on and on with more and more of these, but ultimately, Trumpists have not punished Republicans for heinous hypocrisy, and I have no reason to believe that they will this time. Maybe some individual races could be affected, but let's circle back around. Is there anything positive here? Because it seems like this is a disaster for America, giving Trump the opportunity to ruin things, not just for 4 years, not merely for 8 years, but for decades. The one thing that is very clear to me is that this has the possibility to hugely energize Democratic voters, including left-leaning centrists, anti-Trump moderates, and even many of the never Biden left-wingers. Since Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is when the world learned of the passing of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, small dollar donations have exploded to Democrats. $100 million were donated in the 40 or so hours following the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. People are reacting. People are donating to Biden. People are donating to Democrats nationally. And I do believe this will increase voter turnout, including early voting, which we are already seeing. What can we control here? Okay, we can't make Republicans be consistent. We can't make Republicans stop being hypocrites. We can't make Republicans good moral people. We can't control Trump, but we can vote and we can lobby and we can donate and we can phone bank and we can call our senators. Let's focus on what we can do. Let me know on Twitter, what do you expect to see with this open seat? I'm on Twitter at @Pakman. If you love feeding your intellectual curiosity, but you're always struggling to find the time, check out one of my all-time favorite apps called Blinkist. Blinkist lets you consume an entire book on your way home from work. They take thousands of popular nonfiction books, condense each one into text or audio that you can get through in just 15 minutes, and you get all of the important core ideas and information from that book. It's perfect if you don't have enough time to do all the reading you want to do, or if you just want to sample a book before you buy the entire thing. I recently read A Brief History of Time, of course, by the great Stephen Hawking. This is a book that I have been aware of for so long, and other things got in the way, and it was fantastic to check it out on Blinkist. Blinkist has books on politics, philosophy, science. They have 27 different nonfiction categories, and a subscription is only about $8 a month, and you get the entire library. But you can try it totally free and get 25% off a subscription when you go to Blinkist.com/Pakman. I've put the link right underneath this video.